freshman year, I lived on Linden Street, and I used to come up to what was then Bay Bank and do my banking there. And every time I went, he was there, and he'd be like, "Hey, got some money? Got some weed?" And he was just generally really friendly and really cool.
Every day I went out of my apartment on Sundays. We'd go and like everyone would crowd up beside the liquor store because they open at noontime on Sunday. And he'd be out and he'd do half an hour till it opened. Every 5 minutes he'd go, 5 minutes till showtime! And he did it and he like loved it. And that was like one of his good moments. Sunday morning right before the liquor store opened, everyone's ready to get liquor. And it's showtime!
I'd see this character like, oh, there's Mr. Butch. Like, I remember him from Kenmore Square, right? He's hanging around Allston now, so he'd kind of like say, oh yeah, he looks like a character too. And he'd say, how you doing? And then he'd invite me behind Blanche's for a smoke, and then he'd like talk about like whatever, like how the sun was feeling that day. And I always had this feeling like, I really had a feeling for how the sun was shining that day and just...
Mr. Butch, I met him for a year. He wrote a song called Sex for Sandwiches for me. I wish I had a recording of it, and I wish that he was my dad. He's a very nice man.
He was kind of like a prophet of the hippie generation. But it seemed that the punk rockers, which was a big thing back then, I don't know, but the punk rockers at the Rat really made him the mascot, and they loved him. But he was like a hippie punk rocker. He was like a hybrid.
I knew Butch when he first hit Kenmore Square over 30 years ago. He was a character. He had a huge afro, and he was an imposing person. He was always a good man. He remembered people who did him favors. He never forgot people who did him right.